So we need all the ingredients, all the components to make that specific the product get ready. So that we have to look at that the inventory. So based on the inventory, we pick up the order, we proceed with that. So in the olden days, just all these details which will come up in the form of Excel sheet, and they used to generate the some basic graphs, etc., etc. Okay, probably the next class I'll show some graphs so that you can understand what kind of different graphs and representations are available. Probably you might come across like you can create a small chart using Excel as well. So probably you might have experience on that. But nowadays, each and everything, each and every movement of any human being, right? I would say is any human being, honestly. So each and every movement, people are like, let's say, for example, if you're configured in your Android mobile or Apple mobile with your Gmail ID, so what they are doing, they are using you or else like if you are installing any set of the application in your Android mobile or Apple mobile. So what happen when you're jumping to the next set of mobile or next new mobile, what will happen like once you log into your ID again anyway 99.9 percentage, so you have to configure your Android mobile using your Gmail ID. Why it is because of that? Because so each and every one thing actually nowadays actually the email it's going to be a one sort of the single point of information system. It will contact and what are the apps you are in it, or everything it will be captured by your Android mobile and it's make available in your Gmail or whatever it is. And nowadays mostly people are using a Gmail only, let's say. So if you're jumping into the new mobile, then automatically if you are started configuring your Android mobile, so it will extract all the data which already you will have it in different mobile. It will get that information and it will started doing that. Okay, so and the same way, for example, if you're having that Uber app, right? Uber app. So if you're connecting the Uber app or any other like online, I'm not sure. Like in Madurai, you should have like a Swiggy apps in Chennai. It's very famous one. Okay, so there might be a similar kind of thing in your local place as well. So if you're ordering something on the over the app mobile, what will happen? You will get like the order process. Food, your order is prepared. Your order is in progress. Food is prepared under preparation. Pickup is get ready for this, and so is going to get ready. Pick up your food, and the guy will reach your home, and so on day timeline, and where the guy is traveling, right? All those information that they're building the backside, the building using all other algorithm by using basically they may use like some sort of the basic application and some sort of things going to be on machine algorithm. Okay, so each and every interaction is going to be a data format. For example, if you're going to the shopping and if you're moving out, once you reach the home, the application will pop up the window and it will ask for the rating for the specific the shop. I'm not sure whether you guys are had experience. So if you, for example, if you went to some mall, you never get into the mall. There are so many shops inside the mall, right? Because I had experience when I was in Chennai as well and here as well. So when I was in some was for example when I'm in Express Avenue, so I'm nearby shop called XYZ. So just I'm crossing those place. What will happen after crossing that the place or like I'm reaching the home, the my application will started asking me like the recommendation or give the what is that the rating for that the shop. How it is possible? This is all because see each and every movement of the human being, those who are having the mobile which is connected to the internet nowadays, the people are tracking and they are planning to recommend and give the boost their business to enhance their business. They are giving a recommendation and everything. So each and every statement is going to be a what is that? The data for business and for your perspective as well. So not only like you need to open the laptop, you want to open like your desktop thing and started doing all your stuff, nothing. If you have the laptop, if it is connected, and if you come across 100 shops, I'm sure at least a 50 to 60% of the data will be captured. You cross that specific place, right? So it will capture all the data and it'll give the recommendation. It started asking like your questions about the feedback about the store or restaurant, whatever it is, and it started giving the rating for the specific what is that? It could be a restaurant, it could be a shop, it could be a mall, whatever it is. So it will give the you guys are without knowing yourself, you guys are giving or generating huge amount of data in a single day, right? So that is the reason, as I mentioned last time, it's going to be a big data. Complete the data, the generation going to be like a very huge compared with the last as 10 to 15 years back. So the data in different format, it could be a structured or unstructured, and semi-structured format. So structured format, as I mentioned earlier, it's typical legacy system. To create a table, it has like a field and column, defined row and column, like it's going to be employee number, employee name, whatever we discussed last time. It's very similar to that. The unstructured things, like kind of you putting like or unlike, uploading some document, pictures, videos, anything. So even people are like, even the industries have started analyzing each and every bit what you guys are leaving on the internet. It can be very useful weapon for, not I don't say it's a weapon, it's going to be like they are using all those information in the form of like the benefit of themselves and giving a recommendation and giving the they're giving a, like, what is that, how I can say that, so it could be like beneficial to you guys. So the very interesting things they get near to you. For example, how many of you had experience like using the similar fashion, the data format could be a structured or unstructured. Okay, so is there any doubts in that the structured or unstructured data type? We'll see that anyways. So until now, like, do you have any question that like any questions or any debate on that structured or unstructured, semi-structured data source? Anyone? Amalia, you want to say anything? Any questions? Anybody else? Kavin?
No, sir. Till now, not, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? Manimala? Anybody else? Kavin? You can say something. Like you can feed your input as well. Doesn't matter because actually 2.5 hours continuously speaking really is very hard. So I'm not from political background. Okay, so I got most of the people say no, sir. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so so it's a journey. That's what I said. Like earlier, we don't have anything like the just the application and internet thing like email. See, for example, if we have a Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, so nowadays actually people have started uploading their what their own YouTube channels. Like it could be a cooking or teaching or else any other ideas, everything that's available in the YouTube. They're creating their own. So this is going to be a completely what is a unstructured data and is make available in the internet, right? So and here there is IoT. I don't want to come to this one. IoT is a completely the bigger ocean, and it's related to probably like I would say it's a ocean. It's not related to what the topic we are going to cover now. But for as a EC students, Internet of Things is very important. You people can really connect your you can do your project by using like internet, IoT and data science perspective. Then really it will be really great. Then you're able to get good opportunity in industry. Believe me on that. Okay, because most of the things in an IoT they're in just a trial and error or R&D perspective. So if you guys are inventing anything or based on your innovative ideas, you are generating something the data from using IoT sensors, and then we're taking that information into what is that the industrial perspective. So it will be really help. Okay, I'll give you example as well later, but let's move on to the rest of the things, right? So as I mentioned earlier, so we have so many things like the retail, and the energy, banking and finance, and the marketing, and healthcare, and then education. Okay, so education, and then the government, the transportation, right? So there are so many things are they're using internet. So we'll give the one nice example by using healthcare. And in detail, I have a slide that talks about what are the applications which are using by using data science. Okay, right. So very interesting one. Nowadays, what they are doing, IoT connecting with generating the data and treating the patients. Okay, so there was a trial method which is the planning to implement. So nowadays, actually, in US and Europe country, some places, what they are doing. So they have a setup called, for example, the patient is a critical patient, but the patient at home, right? So is there any issues? What happened? This free meeting will be in 10 minutes. Oh my God! Just now we started. Okay, let's see. Okay,
We will
so
have a concurrent meeting, sir. No problem. So immediately
okay, it will.
let us proceed without any break so that it will be nice.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you. Right. So, if the patient is just a critical patient, but the patient is getting treatment from the home, his own house, and but in urgent perspectives, and we have to make a call and get the ambulance and take the patient to the hospital and give the treatment whenever it's a very critical emergency, right? Above the threshold. So now they in healthcare industries they have implemented very useful for the people, those who are people are getting like a very urgent treatment, they're getting the treatment from their home. So what they are doing, all the equipment they're near to them, which is well connected with the iot is nothing but internet of thing, right? So for example, the patient has like is a cardiologic arrest or something like that. So he has severe blood pressure or whatever it is, a diabetic, something like that. So what they are doing, so they will connect their monitoring their health by using the equipments. And the equipments is very well connected with IoT, like the sensors. The sensors will take the data and pass on to the database which they are maintaining in hospital. For example, we have a hospital nearby my place. So now I'm here in another like 1 or 2 kilometers around the place. I have a one the big and the extraordinary like infrastructure hospital we have. So if the patient home, if gets severe anything like any emergency, what will happen? The system will get the data, because actually the patient is on the bed, and the data is continuously monitoring by the systems, and there is a some threshold has been set up in internally, and data is completely is populating from the patient's house into the hospital critical monitoring system. If the patient's blood pressure, heartbeat, something like something went wrong, what they will do, the completely the because of that the iot integrated the system with that. So immediately the alarm will get fired at hospital before we calling the ambulance, right? So what they will do, they instead of like pick up the call and phoning them, so immediately the hospital people will take the emergency the ambulance, and back to the like they come to our house and take the patient and give the treatment. So this will huge amount of the savings, life saving systems they are implementing. And but it's costly, I agree with that. Like the cost perspective it's a bit higher than the normal people cannot do that. But it probably like they'll slowly they will reduce the price, but even though it's like it's not affordable for middle class and low class people, that's fine. But anyway, technology is a technology, that's different issue. And same way, I don't know how many of you like gone through that. There was one guy. He's out. He's IITian. Okay, he is like he worked in US some almost 10 to 15 years experience, and he back to India. He invented yes different application similar to that. So whenever people need to need to get anything like what is that, a simple application to help them from the remote village. They have built the application to interact with the hospitals nearby township and get the treatment on that. So all those things they are implemented by using the IoT and what is that, data monitoring of the patients. So there are so many examples. Okay, just for example I'm telling. So we'll come to later that other applications later. So here, as I mentioned earlier, we used to call out as in industry perspective structured data, data warehousing, traditional BI, and creating a report. As I mentioned like earlier, we have is different types of data and data warehousing things I mentioned last week, and traditional BI to create a simple chart and giving a report to the supervisor or a shop floor supervisor, or else like the manager, division manager, or else it's going to be a CEO, CFO, and high level. So earlier the data we are used only for what happened, right? And now what we are planning, what will happen, that's a prediction. Okay, so earlier it was just it's a structured data, now we are having a unstructured data, not a problem. So to handle all those things we have Hadoop ecosystem nowadays. How many of you know that Hadoop, at least a terminology perspective? Any idea? You guys have heard the word called Hadoop?
No, sir.
No one? So here, so by using a Hadoop ecosystem to manage the vast data. So earlier we used to have just only the data warehousing, that is only for structured data. So if you have a structured data, we don't bother about to make